Ladies, it's Karen, and I come to you with a little Easter project. What I did was, a few days ago I saw Julianne, she's ILuvintageScrap. She had altered half of an egg carton, you know, like this. Hers was made out of more like a chipboard color, or chipboard material, but she had altered one of these, and I thought it looked really, really cute. And then a little while after I saw hers, I saw Lydia. She's ItripledogdareU on YouTube, and I'll put both of these ladies down below. And I saw Lydia had done one, and it came out really, really cute. So I thought I wanted to give it a try. So I put my eggs in a bowl, and I took my egg carton, and this is what I came up with. So this is not by any means my original idea. It's directly inspired by Julianne from ILuvintageScrap, and then also from Lydia, and she's ItripledogdareU on YouTube. I thought Lydia's came out so sweet. So you know, hers is the one that made me want to, you know, get up and give it a go. So anyway, this is what I came up with, and I didn't have a lot of the materials that I needed for this, so I'll show you what I did to make it work. But the first thing I did was I painted over my egg carton with white gesso, and I gave it a couple of coats, and these words still came through a little bit. So I went over it again with white acrylic paint, and that covered the words up real nice. Since the acrylic paint was able to adhere to the gesso and not the styrofoam, it gave it, you know, it covered these words really well that were on the side of my egg carton. And then I also, so it's, you know, white gesso and then white acrylic paint. And then I also went over the bottom just, you know, a little randomly with the white acrylic paint and the white gesso, just to break it up a little bit so that it wasn't that bright egg carton green color, you know, just to give it a little whitewash there. So that's what I did there. And then for the papers that I covered it with the French Country Stack by DCWV. Whoops, and these are some of the, I love this paper stack, I love it. Such very cool papers in here, and a lot of them are glittered and everything. So it was very cool. So I used a couple sheets from in here. For the bottom sheet, you can't really see it, but it's like a newspaper text piece of paper. And then I used it's called Old Paper Distress Ink, Tim Holtz Distress Ink, and I went over it along with portions of the box with the distress ink. And then I made a doily with my new Sizzix die, and the doily is right here, and it comes out like this, and it's really, really cute. I've been using the heck out of that Sizzix die, so you could see it, you know, hanging off here. I also took a couple of scraps of a different piece of paper from the paper stack, and I used my Martha Stewart punch, and I just made a little border around here. Because my printer is out of ink, so Lydia and Julianne had gone online and downloaded some vintage Easter images for their project. Well, my printer's out of ink. I won't be able to get ink till maybe this weekend. So anyway, what I did was I had some errands to do, so I stopped in Walgreens and I just picked up one of their $1.99 greeting cards. So that's what this is, one of their cheap greeting cards, Easter cards. So that's what this image is, and I thought it was so sweet with the rabbit with the paint brushes and the chicks in his backpack and the eggs. And underneath this image it said, "Life's simple pleasures, the greatest blessings of all." And then it had this little painted Easter egg that's where he's going to go paint his Easter eggs. I thought that was so sweet. So what I did was I cut out the little Easter egg portion, and I put it in this tiny little bottle cap that I got at Michael's, and then I put glossy accents over it. So that's the painted Easter egg. I distressed everything with the, old paper distress ink. I added some of these blue flatback pearls, here and up here a little bit, and you can find these in Cassie's store at her Art Fire store, Flipicano 2 at Art Fire. This is a Wild Orchid Craft big gardenia that I used here that I got in a rack from Cassie, and I just love it. I just love the shape of these gardenias. And then I added a couple of these other Wild Orchid Craft roses. This little center here that I used here is from Saw Crafters. These, I believe, are I Am Roses, and I thought these pretty spring colors just went real well with the image that I have. These porcelain lilies are from Cassie's Art Fire store as well. So I put a couple of there with this little pink bow on it. I did that little curling technique where you curl the image a little bit. I sprayed the image with scintillating silver, and I don't know if the shimmer is coming up, but it's there. And then for along the sides, even though it is painted white, along the sides I used this trim that I had gotten at Hobby Lobby, and I just went all along the sides with it. And I added, as just to enhance it a little bit, this little center from Saw Crafters. So I thought that came out really, really cute. I thought the cover looks really sweet. So this is, when you open it, this is what it becomes, and you can't see that. Hold on. Let me see if I can't get the camera to. So that's the top of the inside cover. This image here with the woman, and that's an egg cracking and all the jelly beans spilling out. This image I got from this backgrounds. It's ATC backgrounds that I had picked up at Michael's, and it's just a bunch of vintage images of ladies. And this one was there, so I just tore it out. The background paper is from the French country stack as well. I cut out another doily here, and a Tim Holtz bird cage there using some of the glittered paper. The inside of the card read, "Wishing you a beautiful Easter," so I just, put that up on Pop Dots. And this image is raised also on dimensionals. And then this little chick here, was an image on the inside of that card. So I just, used my punch to punch it out, and I put it on dimensionals. I was going to put glossy accents on it, but I really liked the matte look about it, And then the flowers I added are I Am Roses, and these little turquoise ones are from Michael's, their $1.50 bin. So I thought that came out real sweet, the inside of that. And I was concerned I almost didn't start the project because I had no way of getting an image, and also because I didn't have any of that paper filler stuff that Lydia and Juliana had used for the inside of theirs. So I'll show you what I did for mine. Well, right now it's full, but see what I did was I took some tissue paper that was in a rack that I had received recently, I believe from it's the tissue paper that was in the pack that I received, from Lydia, and I just started cutting it like I folded it up and then I cut it. And cut it, and cut it, and cut it, and cut it to make, you know, to make these fine strips, you know. And then also this shimmer ribbon stuff is actually this. I save everything. I have a little bag in a cabinet that's filled with old ribbons and stuff, and it's just one of these curly ribbons that you put on packages, you know. And I had taken it off of the little cardboard piece there, and I took the staple out, and I just started taking them apart, and I used them one or two at a time. And I just put a little of you know, hot glue in the middle, just like Lydia had explained, you know, in the middle of each, you know, space. And I put adhered some of these ribbons in there. And then when I realized that these ribbons weren't going to be enough, that's when I started cutting up my tissue paper. So I cut up some pink tissue paper and some green tissue paper, and just to make it look like a little nest. And then the idea is this, to put in a couple little treats, and to give this as a gift, you know, for Easter. So, you know, some old jewelry I have, you know, an old floral cameo, a little baggie of flatback pearls from Sock Crafters, so I put those in there. A little baggie of like resin pieces and a couple of those buttons that I'd gotten from Buttons and Badges on eBay. I put a thing of those in there. Little acrylic flower, a little bouquet of roses, tiny flowers, some trim, some flower trim I put in there. A little thing of this blingy mesh. I'd gotten this one at Pro 31 Designs. I put that in there with a little heart, you know, and then I couldn't make these fit, so I just laid them on top. But these are, I took my bingo stamp from the Bo Bunny, what is it, World Market, I believe. The stamp that goes to that has a little bingo stamp. And so I stamped it a bunch of times, and I cut out a whole bunch of them. So I put a few of them together in here. So I just thought, you know, this was a great little idea. Just a little, I'm thinking of you at Easter time, little gift. And I think it came out really super sweet, you know, considering I didn't have what I wanted to have on hand for it, you know, like the vintage images, you know, or the paper stuff, you know. So, so there you have it. That's what I did. And I just used an old, not an old greeting card, but a greeting card. And I'm sure if you all have old greeting cards, you know, you could use that as well. So there you go. That's my little Easter project, inspired by ILuvintageScrap and ItripledogdareU. Thank you, ladies, for watching. I appreciate it. Goodbye now.